Good evening. Welcome back, my most ethical light and love crew, my divine panel, my cream crew, and my lovely angels of love and light to do your thing, to divinely intervene as needed for the highest good. Thanks so much. So things are not moving along like I had hoped for, but actually I'd say as I expected, not as I'd hoped for, because as I'd hoped for is just the way things are supposed to, roll out. And so I'm not upset at anything. It's just a reminder again to be open-minded about how things come about, how they progress, and things are just going to naturally balance. Okay, this is all about relinquishing the need for control, to put it in its like harshly aspected like disciplinary view. Tina, it's time to kind of let go of things that you do not control and just be okay with it. So I'm good with that. And including like the little bits, the little nuances as far as aging on me. And I'm, it's a natural thing. I'm gonna be a centennial, so it's bound to happen. And so I can't just say like, oh, that's a bad spell somebody's doing, like ill workings or whatever. Things. I'm at a point in my life now where I recognize that I have really, really like wonderful energies around me that outweigh and exceed any tomfoolery. So I don't want to bog myself with too much in the nose right now. And karma is better off playing its cards that way. So nobody is going to try to read into me or attempt to read into me or whatever. And so things are just going to happen in its purity, its level of rawness. And it's the difference between like, table salt and sea salt, that kind of potency. So on the granular aspect, it's much more compounded in its flavor. So karma isn't always a bad thing, so or to be thought of like in its heavy weighted aspect. Karma can also mean wonderful, great blessings. So I'm just trying to simplify how I feel about things and just get things done. This is like a organizational meditation method in getting things done, not putting too much like feeling behind it other than like, yay, I'm getting things done. So there's that. And which means that I have to block out how anybody else would think about it, especially block out those who would have something to say about what I'm doing from the exterior. I don't need that extra noise right now, and that's just how it is for my functionings. So this is kind of like a need to know basis right now. What do I need to know right now? And on the left side, I thought this was already a wonderful card. It's the again, the King of Cups on the recipient side. So it's managing your feelings, it's being still receptive and open, very much in tune with your intuition, but not like disposing of it, like the healthy masculine, and being able to receive graciously on these in the nose, and also still being able to be functional and fair. Okay, both with self and with others. On the right side, which is like, whoa, this is banging, it's the High Priestess. It's a doing side. So this is definitely a need to know basis. That was where the intention was. Primarily, if we're just going to put it in a single objective, yeah, something more concise. But so what do I need to know right now? Oh my gosh. I had an offline convo. I had an offline convo. I have not posted it yet, and I think I took it yesterday, like early in the morning or something like that. I just woke up and I was like, that's strange, etc., etc. Or maybe it was a live read and I didn't put it back on public yet. I don't freaking know. Instantaneously, I thought it was like all symbology, but last night, while we were watching, I was with my son. We were having dinner or whatever, and then we were watching. This is like the second day into watching, because we're watching in partitions now that we're done with Stranger Things. We have to build ourselves up till 225, right? So yeah, we have some time now. So we selected what is it? Back to the Future. And I'm like, that's always a good one, yeah. And so this is like our second or third day into it, and what was I gonna say? When we were shutting down the TV, right up above there was a large spider, and it was the same colors as in my dream. Isn't that crazy? That's fucking crazy. The first spider that I've ever seen in my house, or ever in real life, the same coloring as in my dreams. Like, how funky is that shiz? I don't even think I told you in that thing, but yeah, it was the same color. And I kept telling Athena, I'm like, I know you're showing me how not to be afraid, but it doesn't mean that I'm not supposed to protect my space, etc., etc. You're going to show me the difference, right? You're going to show me that it is incorrect by some other method, like I will stub my toe, or something will happen, and that will give me the sign that you keep that one safe. You let that one go. Otherwise, you're going to teach me how to handle people who are trying to trespass into my energetic spaces, especially in my home. I said, Athena, please, okay? And so she taught me how. She taught me how through to strengthen my weak spots in like a weird ass way. Like my team has already pre-informed her, and she has already like recognized me for who I am and how I am, and the the realm of growth, like how flexible I can be with that. And so it was this funny way. Can I talk about it, or should I just keep that to myself? I think I can talk about it, but I don't know. 10 of Wands. Queen of Cups. No, you can talk about it. Okay, so I was a little uncertain about it, but 10 of Wands speaks about like a lot of burden, a lot of responsibility, some things that are like weighing on you, and having the Queen of Cups here with the prefix as the King of Cups. No, you can talk about it, chit chat a little bit. It's okay. Yeah, this is being an upright, and it's kind of like a scavenger hunt, like searching for all the shells at the bottom of the ocean or whatever. It's resurfacing from being objective, like, oh, look what I brought to the surface. Look, somebody tried to like throw spears at me, basically, throw magic my way, and look what I found, evidence. And so how did she teach me? Okay, so I have this weaponry that I use to kill spiders all the time, and it's kind of like a pool stick kind of method, but the farther away from it, it becomes more like shooting pool, and I don't quite have the upper body control strength or whatever to manage all of that yet, anyway. I don't have any particular need for that. And so when I was way off, they just told me to like pre-calculate it based on the same measure, and just like breathe and focus and then just do it. Set aside the fear, no fear whatsoever. Just pay attention objectively, like looking at yourself, how your first shot was, and measure the same proximity and at the separate distance that you missed, and I was freaking dead on. I mean, the surface area was not correct in being flush, but we got it. Like it was perfectly, like, number one. This was a little humbling in effect that I remember I was saying something about how, like, oh, if that spider like escapes or whatever, then like how do I say it? If the daddy long legs or some other method doesn't kill it, the other intruder, then I'm meant to kill it. Otherwise, you know, I just, Athena will handle the business. And so I think it could have been the same one, but if not, it's already handled, or I handled it. I don't know. But the humbling fact was that if it was the same one, then I didn't kill it on my own. That means that my son helped me with it. But it was like teamwork, which told me, you know, in doing all of this, the humbling effect is that, like, I can't do it on my own. Like, I know I'm super talented. I know that I'm gifted in certain arenas. I'm practiced, etc. And regardless of my discipline, in order to be effective with justice, I can't do it on my own. And so I wouldn't say that's a sad thing or an upsetting thing, but it's just a factual part of being part of this world. And so it's supposed to be a communal type of effort. And it doesn't mean that, like, I have to be part of a coven. It doesn't have to mean that I have to have some sort of an attachment, but it just means that there's meant to be, in what I'm doing, team play in it. And which is great to recognize at this point in my life, because I've had so much opponent energy, and so it's good to know now, being that I'm in the energy that I am in now. So anyway, that was freaking insane to me. That was like my dreams came true. That can happen? It's crazy. But it wasn't like a huge lapse of, no, it was less than 24 hours later it happened. And then I didn't even expect that. That's the kind of thing, like, with karma and being taught certain lessons, especially if you have mentors. So I'm so gracious to have the mentors that I do, because, like, they hear me out, and I can tell by what's happening that they listen. They don't just hear me. They're like, this is a partnership. So they're going to respect my space and how I need to learn, what requests I put in. And that's just on the learning forum. So can you imagine what that's like in the order of manifestation? Like, that's insane. It's weird because, like, I don't realize sometimes how much power I hold. And I know that certain people are like, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing just sitting there, like, taking, they're judging from the outside, but it's like, if I were you, I would be asking for this. I would be asking for that. I would be doing this. I would be that. And it's weird because nobody when they think so strongly of these things, I don't think that they're automatically opponent energy. They're just like, what are, like, you could be doing this, you could be doing that. But I don't have anybody like dialing me up or texting me like, oh, you know what, you should be doing this, you should be like, there's nobody that's like in your face, like tangibly speaking, Tina. Not right now anyway. And I don't know the reasoning behind that, but I'm not gonna like say that's bad or good or whatever. It's just a fact. And so yeah, I thought that was crazy. Like, that's not the only time where it has been instantaneous. Like, as soon as I finished completing a reading, literally like 10, 15 minutes later, something happened. Or even like almost on the dot. So, I don't know. I like surprises, so we'll see how this stuff goes. But yeah, I was able to, I can talk about it. About the working from like strengthening myself by knowing my weak spots and then working with that. I'm not playing myself. I'm not making any like imagination games or whatever. It's just factual stuff. Like, okay, if if this and that. And so I put that into play. And regardless of whether you're spiritual or not, this shit is like, that was good advice. It worked. It worked. It was so scary that spider played dead. Played fucking dead right there. And I was like, no. I would have felt like a little crush. I would have felt something. And so we got it. And then after that, dude, my spidey senses were tingling. Every single place that I was like, in the past 24 hours, there were 2 small ones that I took care of, and in different ways. Like one, it was just different. I just judged it accordingly. So, all right, angels of light and love. My divine panel. What do I need to know right now? What does Athena want to say? Athena, what do you want to say about that instance? And what would just divulge. What fell behind my left ankle, face down, is 5 of Cups. Goodbye. It means goodbye, knowing what you have to say goodbye to. And almost immediately just doing it. So I did good well with recognition. I didn't leave it like, oh, well, it'll be there tomorrow. It made itself a home. It's having to say goodbye, like on a dime. Like, why are you wasting time? This is kind of like the energetics of being in certain relationships, whatever kind of relationships, okay? And you know that it's not only not going well, it's resistance to improvement, and resistance, therefore, in clarity and communication. So you're like, that's a dead end street. Like, why the fuck am I here? Why the fuck are you here? And so it's having to say goodbye, right? Like, why are you wasting time? Like, what are we doing wasting time? Just like sitting here, like deciding on what to eat. You know what I mean? So it's kind of that energy. It's pretty harsh in the way I think I said it on the last part of it, but it's the truth. Anyway, what do I need to know right now? So that's what Athena has said. It's death accentuated. Correct. You see? Yeah. You see, stepping over those skulls. Like, seriously, that's insane. Athena is right on point with this. So even though like her mascot is a spider and weaving, and like, you can create your own life, you can you are superior in what you can do, you know what I mean? Like I think spiders have some sort of intelligence in observing other webs and other artistry in order to like make better sense of what they're doing. But I don't think like spiders, at least from what I have seen, like depict jealousy. Like, oh my god, like I'm gonna fuck up their web because it looks better than mine, and they, or like they're gonna catch more flies, so I'm gonna fuck up their web. There's nothing that I have seen out there in real life, or even in like the, you know, nature, like whatever, like film, that depicts that. You know, they're just doing their own thing, and they're just getting better at their own thing. If anything, they're learning from others in order to integrate that into their own patterning. But like that goes for what we just described, like people's networks, like reputations, bad mouthing, etc. Not just the actual physical like damnation of what, you know, triggers them. So it, you know, that, so saying in Athena's version, it's like the way she teaches me is not so hard line like a ballerina type of instructor. She's more she likes me to take care of business accordingly. Like the she's more at a higher level at in, I don't know how to say it. How do I say it? I think you guys understand. It's her mascot is not about revering that. It's about the representation and the symbology of what it represents, and it's a means to her learnings, to her teachings, anyway. Anyway, thank you, Athena. That was, oh my God. I had to go pee first. I had to go pee first before I handled that. So that was like, ah. It was kind of like that. Anyway. My divine panel. What do I need to know right now? What opened up? Oh, I haven't seen this before. It could be the Ace of Cups. I don't know, but it's not, because it has those line thingies on it. I want to say Temperance, because it has the cauldron right there, but what did it open up to? King of Wands in reverse. So yeah, it's stirring the cup. What the heck? What the heck? Okay, give me a second. Let me find out. Whoopsie. Whoopsie doopsie. Okay, one line for doubts. The Sage. What? No, is it? It's the Sage. Huh. Okay, so that's the Hermit on this touch. Are you sure? Give me a second. That's weird. That's what they said. Okay. Anyway, wisdom, oneness, renunciation, revelation, consciousness. There's only the upside of it, the plus side that's depicted here. What's behind the King of Swords in reverse? Two of Swords. So the King of Wands, he's experienced, definitely. In reversal, you can say that he's a matured player. So there's less tomfoolery, I would say, based on what I'm seeing in this. Like if he goes through the dark night of the soul, he's active in it. He's conscious of the things around him. So there's a sense of self-isolation and kind of blocking out, kind of like cleansing almost, discerning what is his versus other people's, you know, stuff. And so this is somebody that's highly networked, and so every now and then they're going to be objective, especially when looking at looking from within. And it's closed off spaces, like the background right here, in order to gain clarity. So that's what I'm seeing here. I mean, I mean, I used to be very hard-lined as far as what players are. Like, oh, that's unethical. They're bad people. There's a lot of players out there, whether male or female or non-binary or what the frig. And I came to learn that, and I have nothing against, like, what do you call it, the LGBTQ community, but from my own experience, I must say that some, I don't know, how do I say it? Should I say it? Because, like, it gives off maybe the wrong impression, but there are some crowds out there, regardless of sexual preference, that depict themselves to be worse than, like, heterosexual males in the player field. Like, I've been treated more like a piece of meat to, not all, but, like, certain lesbians, than I have with guys. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if it's like some weird pissing contest between genders and like preferences, but that's what I have experienced. And again, not with all, but that's what I'm saying with players here. There's different ways in which people conduct themselves, and which I'm taught. There's a lot of imbalances in I would say every part of the world. Okay. And so I can't just keep giving. I have to be also a player in, not like, again, he cheated on me, so I'm going to have to cheat on him. You know, it's not like that eye for an eye type of thing. It's more like managing your personal resources. So, again, she was saying, like, the stuff about the goodbye part. That's basically what it's saying here. And looking at your own needs and your own learnings, like, oh, I've already learned that. Like, it's a recognition that it's time to move on. And I think that's what I'm supposed to be learning before I head into the new phase of like my new career path, to integrate that, especially if it's going to be like a 9-to-5 type of like regular job. If it's going to be that, then I will need to start making those moves and those plans of when I see those signs to you know, adjust my settings while I'm there, while I'm searching for other opportunities. Like, I thought it was supposed to be so hard line, like, okay, here, then you're going to be led to there, then you're going to be led to there. Like, I thought it was going to be very much plotted to where I'm supposed to go. So I was very resistant to my more recent leavings. So I think that's one of the things that they want me to know. It's a different way of building boundaries, like boundaries within transitions. And that's just what they want me to know right now. Yeah, it doesn't matter what others have to say, like, oh, but aren't you happy with what you're getting paid? Aren't you happy with, you know, it being, I don't know, 10 minutes away from your house, or 15 or 20, I don't know. It's like, aren't you happy that, you know, some things are figured out? That's basically what the answer is. Like, some things are figured out, but if it's creating more problems, like adding more problems to the plate, then it's like, what, you know? So it's recognizing that. Okay, what else do I need to know right now? It is Tuesday. Oh, it's Authorizing Officer Tuesday. Frick, I forgot until now. So Authorizing Officer Tuesday. What am I supposed to know right now? Holy smokes, I didn't realize that. Authorizing Officer Tuesdays. What am I supposed to know right now? And right now it's okay. They want me to get that and the one that's right there. So right now it's more about improvement than perfection. And I think it's always been like that for some time now, but more so now. Like, you have to be happy with any kind of improvement that you make in your life, any kind of improvement. And yeah, so that's where I'm at. And even though like it feels so incremental, like millisecond version rather than like minute by minute, you know, it just, that's fine. Okay, if we're gonna like details matter, so you know, if it's gonna be on a millisecond level of improvement, then okay, I'll take that. I'll take that. That's good. It adds up anyway. And so I have to keep shifting perspectives. Like, rather than it could be worse, it's like, no, it is that much better. You know, even without doing that millisecond detail of whatever I just did, or the surmounting of several, I am better off than where I was before. And even though, like, I just have to remind myself, like, okay, Tina, just keep going. Just keep starting. Just keep going. So, but yeah, again, starting. Just keep going. Just keep starting. That was the first card. And the one that was above that is the Six of Cups. So I do have a lot of friend energy, more so than anything out there. It's time to start believing in that. 100% it's time to start believing in that. And I just bumped into a reading. I think it was June 9th. I wasn't done with my June 6th one yet, or the 7th, or my offline convo June 8th. So like, it's gonna take a little bit before I get to June 9th. But my playlist slowly ran into that, and I was like, ugh. People are going to take it a certain way. They're going to feel a certain way by me saying, like, I do not feel like using the chat feature in, like, and for those that, you know, I didn't mean to sound prima donna. It was more like, it feels like more work than anything, because, and it's again about boundaries. And so, I might have turned off a few people with saying what I said, but I meant what I said. Like, the more you put yourself out there, the more, you know, people are gonna say certain things. So it's having to go through all of that it's kind of like, I don't know. I've got a question. Like, if I was making billions of dollars from what I'm doing, would I still want to muddle myself by going through each and every, like, I don't know. I just, maybe, I mean, if I'm making that much money, sure. But I'd rather give back in a different way. Like, I have to start thinking in a way where, you know how people, like these content creators, are like, oh, so, you know, I read all of your messages and I really do appreciate it. And, you know, some like are very heartfelt and thank you so much. It's made a difference in my life, et cetera, et cetera. And I you know, life just has just been so busy. But I want you to know that I'm reading each and every one of your comments, and I really do appreciate all of your input, et cetera, et cetera. So I think that's along the lines of what, you know, it's manageable, like that kind of level. But I don't know. I mean, like, I find it very difficult to think of myself as any less of less worthy of receiving the same, if not better. And so, because I visually don't see comments or likes or anything of that sort, I think I've grown accustomed to it, to the point where I find it almost like scary that about it getting to that point, you know, like, Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I've just gotten used to, uh, I don't know, like, being on my own. But this is saying that I've got a lot of not just kin energy, but kind energy. You see that? Like, blessings upon each other. There's like an equal exchange, you see? Hold on a second. I'm in a reading right now. Can it wait for a sec? Um, yeah, so there's that. And I try not to get on here when I'm on the basis of feeling like, oh, all ready and set and pretty and proper. Like, a lot of the times it's like, like right now, when after I've been doing quite a bit, and like I was just like, just sloppy, and like my armpits are clammy and I'm bulging out, and just like when after things are done, so that I know that I've invested in me first off, and that's how I want it to go down. And so I don't know, I just I don't know. So, what I need to know right now is that I'm getting things done, and that I do have some true support out there, and I have a lot of good fortune that is on in progress. It doesn't look like it. It doesn't feel like it. But I know it's true. All the things that I read from my court cases, like the progress of it, even down to the signing and the modifications and all of that, were all true. There were certain parts where my head got, like, my thoughts got in the way a little bit, and or certain fears, and so that was more of like speaking, venting that, rather than reading my cards, actually. So there was that, but everything that I read was correct and true. So there's that. So, like, I have no reason not to trust in what's going to what's for me. I have no reason to not believe in it. I'm just telling you, from what I'm seeing in the physical realm, by the calls that I have to make, by the mail that I'm getting, by the calls that I'm not getting, it doesn't look like that. So, I would say being open-minded is a huge emphasis in the way things roll out. So, I don't know why I'm upset over it, but I think that's like, in one of the readings, or at least one or two of the readings in the past, I think, month, it said, you know, the universes do not mean you any harm at all. They mean no harm. So, like, why would I feel upset over it? It's not that I don't believe that it's gonna happen, or it's just like, okay, what is this? what is this? So, I'm like, I thought good stuff was supposed to be here. So, again, this is, I keep seeing the strength card in repetition and reversal, so it's just testing my strength. And so, that's where we are. I thought I was going to be in the position of like, okay, I'm already there. I'm in with the echelons. Great, great, great. And then you find out like some people are not like exactly like, great moral or whatever, or you're going to be like freaking like it's high school again, like, oh Tina, you're going to be in this position where, you know, there's going to be some peer pressure and it's a matter of, do you want to shoot up some heroin or not? You know what I mean? Like, I thought it was going to be like, I don't know, an easy like, no thank you. You know, I thought it was going to be that's severely generalizing it, but I thought that's what it was kind of going to be like. It's so funny. But I did totally think that it was going to be like, you know, one of those silly. It's an exaggeration, but like one of those Dare poster commercial things. So anyway, like I already know how to ethically like not judge, you know, people that I'm reading for or whatever. And a lot of the times, like I'm just reading the cards. So anyway, that's funny. So what do I need to, what like need to know basis? What I need to know right now? We'll do another 10 minutes on here. That's funny. What fell on the floor? Oh, let's get it with the foot. Three of Swords in reverse. Ta-da! It fell on the right side of the thing. No heartbreak. No heartbreak. Easy, easy, easy. Like that's something that you need, that you must look forward to. Like no disappointment, no heartbreak. And it's weird because it's like I was just like in the middle of assessing a reading, like in to complete an old reading from like a couple months ago. And like they were talking about players, and they've been, it's a repetitive thing. I'm like, okay, fine, I have to accept like what I attract, and it doesn't necessarily mean that I am one, but I am supposed to be taught how to take the best of learnings from these players. I mean, there's everybody has something to offer, right? And something divine that they bring to the table. So I'm in the best position because these players are willing to be a mentor of some sorts to, you know, to my learnings. Like, because I'm kind of like a little lamb from what I understand. Ace of Swords for sure. But not, you know? So, no heartbreak. And so I'm just saying, it seems to be weird that in the spy energy. How do I get this thing off of here? Okay. That there would be no heartbreak even amongst that energy. I mean, that's very reassuring, I have to say. Okay, so that is the Two of Wands. Upright, or what is that? Or extroverted. It could be seen as either way, based on like me facing frontwards here. Based on me facing frontwards, that would be extroverted. So I've sized that correctly. Sized that up correctly. All right. Okay, we'll just say 5 more minutes, okay? All right. What else do I need to know right now? Because the way I was starting to talk about it sounded like, oh, questionable. But I know that it's correct in the way that I know it to be. Okay, okay, fine. Give me. Oh. All right, get it. Queen of Pentacles, upright. So, lover of all sentience, for sure. Yeah. And it's boss energy, too. Yeah. All right. What's the clarification for that? Because, okay, 4 of Swords. It's, thoughtfulness, it's consideration, it's recuperation. So you have to think about your house and home first. And so what I was thinking about, like, before that card popped up was divulging what is, I think, scary for me is that I'm supposed to be in my now moment, just like everybody else is, right? To get the most out of your life, and to make the most impact. And with that, if I'm so much in my now moment of gratitude and where I'm at, I worry sometimes that I'm not going to be like, okay, so I do that. That's great. That's nice. But like, okay, what about the funds? What, like, how am I gonna make this money? How am I gonna make this, like what, if I'm in my now moment and it's like now moment, like 3 weeks later, like what the fuck, so that's my hesitation right there, even though they kept telling me like, no, you got to be like right here. Dude, I don't know. What do I need to know based off of that? My divine panel. Archangel Michael, what do you got to say about that? Because, like, it doesn't matter how many, like, how do I say it? No, I'm not going to say it like that. When it comes down to it, people can talk all they want. They can talk favorably about you. But when things are not quite, like, you can apply for X amount of jobs, you can, like, do that in any industry. But then, like, what actually comes to fruition is, like, so how, I don't know what like, I'm trying to do little bits of everything, and it's Three of Cups. Okay, so this is like, celebrate. Celebrate what you can. This also, initially what I felt was that you are celebrated, Tina. So, like, I'm at that point where, like, okay, that's nice. You didn't answer my question. Okay, it's nice to be celebrated, but, and then what? Okay? You know what I mean? Like, I don't mean to be ungrateful, but it's like, does that answer any of my questions? I don't. Knight of Pentacles. So something is being delivered. I don't know what. It looks kind of like reluctant. Kind of like, don't shoot the messenger, or I would rather not give, or something like that. There's something being handed over, and I don't know what. What is it? May I know? Can you please tell me? What is it? Six of Wands. It's victory. Here I am being like annoyed as frig, and I think there's some sort of reluctance to deliver victory to me, but it will be done, and I will be done. So it's strange. Like, why am I giving like the divine such a hard time with the way I feel? And you know, something came on my feed, and it was Dead Kennedys, like, your emotions make you a monster, or something like that. Or it's something, I forget. But I'm like, where does this song belong in my playlist? And I realized it could be this. Final 3 takeaways. What do you want to say? My divine panel. It's been past 5 minutes. Holy crud. 9 of Swords, emphasis, like, you're staying up, you're stressing. And what is being stressed here? It's the Star card in reverse, but hope is within. Like, there's a lot of energy built up. It's like, there's a lot of hope. Like, I know I have, like, I believe in this thing. I believe in this thing called me. But I'm like, there's, like, a lot of stress. There's something that's got to be emitted, but, and so it's like this, you know, like a water balloon in the summer. It's like it's like this little cheap ass thing, right? And you don't know because you've had like more legit balloons where it could stretch to like God knows what. So it's kind of at that threshold where it's like expanding, and it's like, oh my God, is it gonna pop? Or we're gonna have to start all over again. This is kind of like a you're anticipating on having the like water balloon like throwdown. But you have to do that work first. So it's kind of like that. They wanted me to say it like that. Especially with the emphasis, like this, it's not a boiling point, it's a pressure point of this like, elasticity. Like what, and like something great about to happen because it's already within. So it's like, third takeaway. 8 of Pentacles, yeah. This is precision. This is mastery. It's getting those water balloons down on point. So they said, Tina, just have fun with it. I know you got stuff to do, and that's a matter of life. That's a fact of life. But don't make it more complicated. Like, it's a water balloon fight. Just think about it that way. And you'll get so much more shiz done. I promise you. I promise you. 10 of Cups on the bottom. And the top is, oh my God, it's a freaking Emperor. Need I say more? Holy smokes. They don't need to see anymore. It's a water balloon fight. And water balloon fights, they're harmless. People are crazy. My divine team is insane. Insanely good. So thank you very much. I appreciate it for your donations of light and love that reciprocate equally. Thank you. And blessings be. So now that this reading is officially over, I call back all my power, energy, essence, gifts, strength. What else? Oh, did I say gifts? I might have. I don't know. Anyway, from those who call upon, bring, cast, generate, or any variation thereof, ill will, intent, and or entities, to pass through the light of the Holy Spirit and Archangel Michael's blue flame for cleansings, for blessings, for reformatting to love and light energy, and then to be refortified within me, only me, hassle-free, no doubt, except for all bonus points included. And so, upon closing the portals in this reading, I sent all energies back to their appropriate locations outside of mine with their appropriate karmas due, assisting with a sequence of roll out and light and love. I close the portals in this reading.